Hey, it's Rob. Welcome to Axel's Garage. We are in the Bronx, just passing through. Not our final destination, but we're on a Axel's let's go find a car that we didn't need road trip. My buddy Josie called me up, and Josie is a car guy that I've known for many, many years. He's also a junk collector. I didn't tell you that Josie's a junk collector. So Josie...
When you told me we were buying a $1,000 truck that should be worth $6,000, I knew it was a piece of junk. I'm only here for the adventure to laugh at you.
We don't know that it's a piece of junk.
I will guarantee it.
Josie was a collector of many things. A lot of different cars, a lot of old cars, but Josie is a long time, not just dumpster diver, but dumpster finder. He gets the good stuff out of dumpsters. Matter of fact, the compressor in my basement is a Josie dumpster special. It is the motor, the pump, and the tank are from 3 separate dumpsters, and he made one compressor out of it, and I still have it like 20-something years later.
So we could buy this truck and 3 other trucks, and then it would make one truck.
So Josie calls me up and he says, hey, I got a line on a truck, one of my neighbors. He's got this 2003, he told me it was a 2003 Suburban when he first called. So he said he's got a 2003 Suburban, which I'm a fan of 2003 Suburbans and Yukon XLs.
You like to crash them into guardrails.
And mine kind of got beat up. He thought I would want the engine. So he hasn't seen my Suburban in some time, and that it's the ass end is completely rotting away, and I did smash it up a little bit. And then
repainted the whole side.
And then my daughter smashed it up a little bit. So, but it works. So I said, you know what, maybe we could replace it. So he goes, yeah, and if you don't want to, you could just. I think you could pick this thing up for a decent price, and you could just take it for the engine. It's got a 6-liter in it. So I said, wait a minute. I go, they didn't have a 6-liter in a 2003 Suburban. So he goes, well, maybe it's a Tahoe. I go, they didn't have a 6-liter in a Tahoe. I go, you sure it's 2003? And he says, yeah, it's definitely a 2003. So it turns out it's a Yukon, because they had a 6-liter in the Yukon and the Yukon XL. He sent me some pictures of I asked him for pictures. I got interior photos.
In the Denali.
Not good interior photos, but interior photos. So it turns out it's a shorty. It's a Denali. How the story goes is the guy blew a brake line. And when he blew the brake line, he had it replaced. Now, we assume it was a steel line. It could have been a hose. I'm being told he blew a brake line and had it replaced. And when he had it replaced, the next drive after getting it replaced, the front brakes started hanging on him and locking up. And he had it was forceful to drive it home, so he probably baked the rotors. And then the next time he went to go drive it, he said all 4 wheels were dragging or hanging or locking up on him, and he said that the car really can't be driven the way it is. So he's had it since new, and he just wanted to get rid of it, so we made a deal over the phone. Actually, Josie made the deal. I made the deal with Josie over the phone. Josie brokered the deal, and we don't even know this guy and haven't spoken to him. And so I asked Josie, I said, hey, Josie, by the way, how's the body look? And he goes, well, I don't think I've ever been under it, but I think it's okay, which wasn't really what I meant. I meant was like, how does it look presentable-wise? And he goes, I don't know. I said, can we get pictures? And he goes, yeah, and he sends me the interior pictures.
Exit right to
so then I said,
Parkway North.
I said, well, how's the body look? And he says, from what I remember, it looks pretty good. So he said, so this is Josie.
And this is his neighbor.
And if you know, well, he lives a few blocks away. Could be 2 miles. You know, they're up north, so,
yeah.
He's a couple blocks away. It's 2 miles. I think it is 2 miles. Anyway, we're going to Josie's house first, and then we're going to go get this thing. We got a trailer, we got Mark, we got the dog in the back, and we're going to go see. Now, for those people that might be watching who know Josie, Josie's family, Josie himself, and friends and acquaintances of Josie who've ever been on an overnight pull it in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania with him, know that when Josie says, yeah, it's pretty decent, it could be the best deal you've ever found, or it could be the biggest hunk of shit you've ever found.
I'm going with that.
So it can go from one end to the other end. You have no idea when Josie's involved. So we got a little bit more ways to go. We're headed north.
We're about to get on the Taconic.
Maintaining New York State boundaries. We're not leaving New York State, which is another thing I don't like to do when I'm buying a car. But for $1,000, we're gonna hit this guy in front of us. Holy Jesus!
You made me come to this place where these people drive like this.
Okay, we'll be back.
This place is very nice over here. I'll go right back.
Yeah, I bet that's it. I don't think we did too bad. It's fairly straight. Couple little dings here and there. Needs a little TLC. It was a long trip. But all in all, this was a pretty good Joe Z deal. We'll be back in the daylight and we'll give you a good walk around on this and see what it needs, what it doesn't need. It does need a little bit of work though. All right, so it was late when we made it home last night, probably around 11:30 or so. The trip was uneventful except for my Waze malfunction, which we couldn't figure out why Waze was detouring us around roads that were right in front of us. And it was because I had the avoid toll road feature on, which was really screwing us up because it was actually giving us an hour-and-a-half trip to get there, and it was only like a 30-minute trip. Crazy. Anyway, it turns out to be a pretty decent Joe Z deal. It's got a couple little dings on and around it. Guy lives in a spot where there's a lot of deer, and he says deer happened to run into him. He hasn't hit a deer with it, but over the years, he said a couple of deer hit him. So that's the mild damage to it. It's really nothing severe, nothing that looks real bad. I think it should clean up fine. The mirrors are taped on, so we'll have to figure out what's going on with them. The headlights, if you come around over here, Robbie, like this headlight here had a shim stuck in it to hold it from moving, and this one here, he's got like pieces of tree branches holding it in, and you can see it's all condensated, and so we'll have to get new lights for it. They come in a kit, you know, both the upper and the lower lights. We'll probably just go with the regular Yukon lights because the Denali lights, these are real expensive. These are like $120 each just for the headlights, but you could get the Yukon style, which fit right in there, for like $30 with bulbs in them. So we'll wind up doing that. We'll get new lights for it. Tail lights, same thing. Clean it up a little bit. This mirror, same thing. The AC actually works. Interior is really nice. Just needs to be cleaned up. It actually works, but the interior is pretty good. The driver's leather seats only got a little bit of a tear in it, which isn't bad. We have an 03 Suburban with leather, and it's pretty torn up compared to that. We need a switch here. The main switch on this one is going, which we know about. In our Suburban we have the same issue. This one's a little worse. Can't control the rear windows, and you can't lock the doors from here. So we'll need another one of these switches. And then really the only thing that we really need to work on is the brake issue. So this is the story. The guy was having a problem with his brakes. He didn't really say what the problem was, but he had a braking issue. Brought it into the shop that he goes to. They replaced the rear calipers, rear rotors and pads on both sides, and they put a new brake line in the front. Watch your back, Robbie. Put a new brake line in the front and bled the system out, gave it to him instead of Ram Farm, and he said on the way home from the repair shop, his ABS light went on, the StabiliTrak, the traction control, all those things went on. So it's probably all related, and he said the rear brakes are hanging. So brought it back to the shop, and the shop said they fixed it. It was good when he pulled it away, and there's nothing they can do, which I don't understand. He gave me the receipt. He paid $1,300 for a rear brake job, and he determined the truck was undrivable, that the rear brakes were hanging up too much. And they are hanging. They're not hanging up where you can't drive it. You can drive it, but I wouldn't do a lot of miles on it because they are hanging. So I don't know if the ABS, traction control, StabiliTrak, and the brakes hanging have anything to do with each other. I think the brakes hanging could be a separate issue from the ABS, traction control, StabiliTrak. Those are related. So the shop very well may have just screwed up one of his wheel speed sensors when they were doing the brakes, and they just might have screwed up the brake job. So we're gonna clean it up. We're just gonna wash it because it's filled with all kinds of tree debris and stuff. We're gonna wash it off, and then probably in the next couple of weeks, we'll start taking the wheels off. Oh, Grandpa's here to check on it. We'll start taking the wheels off. We'll see what's going on with the rear brakes, and we'll bring you along as usual. So this was a Joe Z success. I don't care what anybody says. Joe Z capers can be kind of strange. This one, definite Joe Z success for $1,000 to get a vehicle that's probably worth about 5,000, especially up here. 160,000 mile, fuel efficient.
No car is fuel efficient.
Which I'm joking. These things get the worst mileage. It's a 6-liter full-time four-wheel drive. It's a pig when it comes to mileage. But
Where you going?
But what did we decide the name of this one was, Robbie?
Leroy. No, Lester.
No. Pearl.
Pearl.
Pearl from the Beverly Hillbillies is the name of this vehicle, Grandpa.
Whatever. I'm not going to say anything to that.
So it's nice. It's got leather bucket seats in the back, leather bucket seats. It's got a third row in it.
Is
even.
it just working yet?
Huh? No, it's like the battery's a little weak or something.
Huh?
The battery's weak. There it goes. Unlock. Look at that. Buckets in the rear.
Oh, okay. Looks good.
You can drive this.
Third row
Yeah,
seating.
I'll try that. Okay. Are we still on the air?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on the air.
Okay.
Robbie, there's a chicken roll on the
Go ahead. Put it on the air, he said.
on the counter. All right. And there's only a small piece, though. Grab it now.
It's got third row seats in the back. Grandma, Grandpa?
Yeah.
Or Grandpa, Grandma?
Yeah, grandma.
Grandma,
Oh.
Grandma.
You mean these people don't even clean it a little bit?
Why would they clean it? He's selling it.
Just to show it, make it look halfway decent. God almighty, what's the matter with the people today? Not like my generation.
You got to see all the tree debris under the hood.
Oh,
He had it parked under a bunch of trees.
oh okay. I'll tell you, the people today, especially young people.
Oh, this guy wasn't young.
Yeah?
He was in his, I would say, mid to late 60s.
Well, that's young for me.
Well, I'm not saying he wasn't a young kid. He wasn't my age. I'm young.
Well, let's look the other way. Okay, it looks good. Good luck. I'll be looking forward to giving it a ride one day. No. Because someday, this family is going to forget to put the T-tops on. It's going to rain, and nobody's around, and I'm going to have to put your car in my garage.
Okay.
Oh, that's the car you want to drive? The IROC?
Just to learn how, that's all.
Learn how? It's a regular car, like yours.
Oh, it is? You know, column shift, you know, you turn the key and it starts and...
It starts, but it's not
You
a
don't have
column
no
shifter.
button, huh?
It's not a column shifter.
What do you mean? Oh, it's on the side. Oh, that's no problem. Okay, you're having your fun. I want to go home, have my coffee, and that's it.
We got you chained up here? You can't go home?
You came here.
So yeah, he's got like there's a couple little dents
Hey,
around it from deer running into him.
dear?
Yeah, deer running into him.
Okay.
And when we had it on the trailer last night, and we're driving away, we must have seen, no exaggeration, 20 to 30 deer just crossing the street everywhere we went.
Yeah?
And they were all like small, but he said deer run into him. So we got to figure out what's the whole deal. Like these are all taped in. The power works.
Oh,
They taped it, I don't know.
probably hit it with something and broke it. Talking about, you want to get some grass seed in here, a little water? I mean, I did all the work over there.
We're talking about cars, not grass seed.
Well, look at dead grass. Okay, I'm going to say goodnight, folks.
Close out.
Have a pleasant trip. Oh, you already told her. Goodbye.
All right, so that's all we got today for Pearl. This is the 2003 Yukon Denali with a 6-liter LS engine. We're gonna have some fun with it. Amanda's gonna be driving it, and we got to get it going. So look for a playlist on this vehicle coming up soon. And as always, thanks for watching.